if you're a widow and you've been left a load of cryptocurrency from your husband and you have no idea what to do with it, please just don't make these 4 mistakes. My name's Lewis Jackson. I work with widows who inherit their crypto from their spouses, and I see these 4 mistakes happen over and over again, and they typically all happen in the first 30 days. So let me explain. So that first mistake that widows make is that they're always waiting for that next YouTube video. And what happens is, because you're trying to learn, you're doing your best to learn about all this stuff, the algorithm starts to bury you in jargon and actually just restricts you to the point where the overwhelm gets too much and you can't actually continue and develop your understanding. What's most important in these first 30 days, and actually I would argue for the rest of your investing journey, is that action should have way more importance to you than the understanding, like the learning. In fact, we'll get to that in a second. The second mistake that I see widows making is that they treat this cold storage wallet where the crypto is held like a museum piece, like, I don't know what to do with this, let's keep it safe over here. And the issue with that is that over time, security and real world value of the assets that live in that USB drive actually deteriorate over time. So if you think about it as there is value in there because the assets are worth something, but if you never open it, if you never learn how to use the thing, you will never realize the potential of the assets inside. And therefore, you being scared of touching that thing, treating it like a museum piece, is actually limiting all of the upside that you could possibly get from those assets. And number 3 is a really tough one, because this is all about how often widows try to honor the plan that their spouse had without laying any credence to the plan that you would have or that they would have for this crypto. And I get it, because the loyalty feels noble. But in reality, if you're adopting someone else's plan, it's kind of just like playing roulette in slow motion. It's ultimately just not going to work, because it has to be in alignment with the person who is in control of it, and that is now the widow, you. And the fourth thing that I see widows doing is that they completely forget about the tax obligation side of things. And this is the most boring part, but it absolutely, if you want to reduce the amount of stress, because you're already going through a lot, reduce the amount of stress to a very short time period, manage the taxes first, get a good understanding of the taxes. Because if you let this prolong and it goes 2 years, you've got to do this whole backlog, and actually the stress and grief that you're going through is exacerbated for a longer period of time. So you really need to get on top of those numbers. So having worked with so many widows over the last couple of years or so in my program, here's what it comes down to, and here's an exact roadmap. It's very simple. I've found that in order to get 80% of the results from the assets you hold, you actually only need 20% of the knowledge that is perceived by the world. The world will always convince you that you need to reach this 100% knowledge to understand these assets. It's not true. 20% of the knowledge will get you 80% of the results. So that's all we're trying to do here, get you that 20% of knowledge.